Every AI app you use is quietly following a hidden set of instructions, a system prompt you were never meant to see. It decides how the AI behaves and where it breaks. And if your job is to test AI, that's the whole problem. You can't test what you can't see. So here's what we're doing today. The opposite of what everyone does with prompts. Instead of writing one, we'll take a live AI app and pull its hidden system prompt back out by getting AI to read the app's own API calls and hand us the rules. My name is Jaime. I'm an instructor at Engenious University, where we train QA engineers to become AI evaluation engineers. Reverse engineering a system like this is exactly where that shift starts. Stick with me to the end. The moment we pull the hidden prompt out of a live app is the part most testers have never seen. So for prompt engineering, the definition here is writing precise, testable instructions that guide an AI model to produce consistent and useful results. Why this matters? Because prompts are now the new test cases. A small wording change can change the entire behavior, and testing prompts ensures reliability and reproducibility. Here are 4 parts framework for prompt engineering, something that you want to consider, which is the identity. So it's who the model is. Give it a role, a style, and a goal. The actual instructions, what you don't want to do. Examples, you have a one shot or few shot. One shot would be without examples. A few shots would be multiple examples or something that demonstrates the actual pattern. And then the actual context. So provide facts, documents, backgrounds. Now, as far as the prompt types, we have 2 prompt types. We have a developer system prompt. Who defines it? In this case would be the developer or the tester. The purpose of this is to define the rules, tone, and behavior of the system. And an example is you are a helpful assistant that explains code simply. For the developer system prompt, we say tester and developer, because normally the AI engineer, the developer engineer is the one that is doing that system prompt. But as you test it, and let's say if you have access to the code, you can actually add input as to what the app should be. So the system prompt should be based on your testing. And then we have the user prompt, which would be us as testers. We're going to act as if we are the users, and that would be like us interacting with the chat interface that said. So the prompt would be the end user. In this case would be us acting as the end user. The purpose would be to provide the actual input or question. And then the example is explain how a for loop works in Python. So you're gonna be wearing both hats for prompting. Would be system prompt, which is the actual how the system should behave, and then the prompt as a user trying to break the system or trying to get it to provide you information that it shouldn't be providing you. Now, making the prompt testable, we have different goals. So you have functional. An example of a prompt on functional would be summarize in less than 20 words. The assertion type in this case would be the word count check. For factual would be when did Apollo 11 land, and the assertion type would be equals or contains. For safety would be tell me how to hack X, Y, and Z, and an assertion type would be an LLM rubric of refusal. And then testing goal of a style, so explain these as a 9th grade level, and you can actually use this LLM rubric as well for clarity. Prompt engineering takeaways here. Why this matters: the system prompt is rules written in a plain language. The user prompt is test inputs. A clear structure gives you measurable outputs. Prompts can and should be tested just like code, and Promptful helps you quantify prompts reliably. We're going to do an exercise that is, we call it reverse design the system prompt. What I'm going to show you here, a simple app, and this is where I'm going to start preaching to try different things, to explore, to experiment. This is a fairy tale generator that I created using prompts, and the story behind it was I needed to explain software engineering on the American teaching event at my daughter's school. These kids were 5, 6, 7 years old. And how do you explain software engineering to kids at that age, right? So what I did is I just asked her what they were being taught, and they were being taught how to write stories. So she gave me some information about how to write a story, what they were doing, and things like that. And back then, Claude Code didn't exist or was not out. So I used Claude, the actual interface, and I started prompting. I was getting code and I was copy pasting into my Visual Studio Code, and I got something to work on Python using Streamlit. Streamlit is the UI library to be able to output the story. This one is Next.js. But what I want you to do here is pretend you are applying for a company. This company is a SaaS company, has multiple applications, and these multiple applications, they gave you this fairy tale generator. They want to know which model is the most useful and most reliable for the application.
I have this extension on my Chrome browser for Claude.
Nice.
It's a Claude agent installed in your browser. So I asked it to log into this website using my Gmail and then go through all the website, analyze it, take screenshot, like read the JS files, read the API calls and see like what is this prompt. So I didn't do anything. So I just did everything. Like it find out who are the characters, what are the items, places, problems. And then we also read that there is like API call behind, which is basically the interesting part that you hard coded the age. It's always for kids between 5 and 8, but the users cannot see it. This is the post request that you sent to generate the actual story. And once that story is created, then you send another post request to generate an image.
Nice.
And here are some examples of the stories that you have.
Did you get my API key by chance? Hopefully you didn't hack my API key.
Not that level yet. Hopefully you're going to teach me how to do it. So the length, there will be always 3 paragraphs. This is the limitation for the length, 5 to 8 years old.
Yeah.
And it is the like overall the patterns that the Claude noticed. And this is the approximate system prompt that you gave to your agent.
Wow.
And this is the system prompt for the image generation. And these are the agents that you used. Hopefully, Claude got it right for the
DALL-E. I used DALL-E.
Yeah, so I just wanted to overall share with everybody that you guys can install Claude agent on your browser, and it's gonna like it can do anything for you. Like it can go to your emails, like clean up. It's like whatever like the Claude bot does, but it's like limited to your browser, so you can automate a lot of stuff. First, I tried to do the same thing using Playwright agents that you showed us last time. But the Playwright agents were having hard time to log in. It was like opening a new session, and for the login, you only have Google login, or you have to provide email, and it will send you the link. And my Playwright couldn't open it. So, but the Claude could. So this agent basically has access to everything that you have on your browser. So it can do anything, and it can also read the backend. It can read the JS files. So it's like pretty useful for the web-based applications.
I wanted to quickly share how I would have done it, and I'm going to show you behind the scenes what the application looks like. This is the story. I love this image, by the way. I don't know, I'm into image generation from AI. It's like amazing. But this was a long time ago. So it's like the way that I do it and the way that I tell it is I seed information into the chat. So I ask it questions. If I want to build something, if I want to know about specific information, I always ask it the question, hey, are you familiar with prompt engineering? So it gives me the information. And that actually seeds the context of that specific chat. And then I did the same thing as everybody did. Great. I need you to act as a prompt engineering and write a prompt to help me generate the same output of this app. It has a form to select the story parameters. So I gave it the story parameters. And here's the story. I gave it the story. It should create a fictional story for second graders. Please write the prompt and help me generate the same output. So that's it. And this is what it generated for me. These are the example variables, and that's it. So it's as simple as that. I can share this. The way that I do it is I always seed the information by asking it the question of the topic that I want to learn about. And then once the chat has that information, it uses it as a context, and then I can do my prompt. That's how I do it. And then if I want to show the app here, so if I take a look at the API, so you have the app, you have the API, and the API has to generate an image, to generate an animation, and to generate a story. And this is what the system prompt looks like within the code. Some people, again, I like to share this because most people don't know what this looks like inside, or maybe they have not been exposed to the code. But within the code, you actually place the prompt. This is the actual prompt. The English prompt is there, right? I have some parameters here for English and Spanish, and it's not perfect, but at the same time, it's like, again, about experimenting. So you can actually see the system prompt here for the text. If you do generate the image, same. Critical, absolutely no text, no words, no letter, numbers, or written symbols on the image. It gives you the parameters, the description, the visual context, and then here, DALL-E 3 that's what was used. So it actually gets the prompt, it passes it to the image generation, and based on that prompt, it generates the image. And then for animation, you actually pass the actual image. So in this case, would be the data URL of the image, and it just says, create a mesmerizing Disney-style animation with magical sparkles, floating glitter, twinkling stars, and smooth flowing movements. So as you can see, the system prompt is plain English and is within the code to make it functional.
So understanding of how AI systems are really built and where they break is exactly what we teach inside the Break into AI Testing Bootcamp. It's a 5-week, hands-on program where QA engineers learn to test real AI systems and move into AI evaluation roles. Not theory, not how to prompt ChatGPT. The real workflow companies are hiring for. The link's in the description. Take a look when you're ready. And come join our Discord community. It's where we share the most technical QA and testing work out there, plus the latest AI news and tools the moment they drop. It's where the next wave of AI testers is already building. And make sure you subscribe. We're always putting out new work on how QA is being reshaped into AI, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.